Hello everyone, this is Vladerag here to bring you Selfcast number 2 with me as the red zerg in the top left versus SKD as the pink Protoss in the bottom right, or I guess just the bottom. It's sort of in the middle of both, and I was on the top, or on the top. Wow, I can't even click right. Now here's the thing, folks. I do remember this game. I saved the file as Selfcast 2. When I was loading it up, I was just thinking, what on earth is this? And now I remember. SKD, one of the officers of FDV, wants to transition into Protoss, is giving Protoss a shot, and had some trouble in PvZ, don't we all? So I told him I would give him a hand. And so I am playing Zerg, and he is playing Protoss. For all of you who have felt like that, who feel like they've slipped into an alternate dimension because they're basically playing the opposites of each other, that is the reason for it. Now this is going to be an interesting map to do a Forge Fast Expand on, simply because of how close the Nexus is. I think it makes it much easier to do. You can be much more secure with the Mothership core out, especially. So I like it a lot. On the other hand, you have this here, which of course, it's made of hard materials, meaning that Lings can't really easily destroy it, but hey, they still can eventually. On the other hand, there's a whole lot of and on the other hands, well, we're seeing a gateway out of him first. I think he thought I was going to cheese him, but nope, I am expanding. There's the probe over there scouting something, I'm not sure. Maybe going to be putting down a pylon that I never even noticed. I know he puts down some pylon somewhere and I don't see it. If that sounds confusing, it's because I am confused. By the way, I've just noticed how absolutely Reaper friendly this map is. Either way, now he scouts the expand, realizes that he is behind. Well, he has better tech than you would expect, so he's not necessarily behind. It's just without that expansion, the Forge First really doesn't give him too much of an advantage. Either way, what I am doing is, well, okay, let me put it this way. I've seen a bunch of pro-level Zerg play, and I'm basically trying to copy them going for Muta. The keyword being try. I really failed horribly. Actually, I don't even know why I have this as a self-cast. It's just painful. Interesting though, looking at this wall off, does that Nexus? I feel like that's going to complete the wall off and just not allow him to move units back and forth, although honestly I don't really see a problem with that. Why not just complete the wall off and then start breaking this down, take an early third would be what I would love to do. Yeah, you know what? I'm liking that a lot. Put like a pylon here and start making a wall off there. Yeah, I'm really like, oh my gosh, this map is amazing for Protoss defensively. I actually have had the opportunity to play on it, but that was my first game back in like 2 weeks, and so I was just doing terribly, and my opponent sucked, but oh god, I was worse. Anyway, going back to this game, I do have Lair Tech on the way, and I'm getting my gas coming down. Or another gas coming down, rather. Already sending the drones to work because I don't want to miss sending them there, as I'm trying to get all my rally points fixed up. And in the meantime, SKD, I don't really know what he's doing. He doesn't have much tech down. Yep, there's a bunch of gateways getting added on. Now normally this amount of gateways being added on at once would signal aggression, and it actually, I don't remember if it does or not. Oh well, we'll figure it out pretty shortly. See what he does. I think I could have sworn that but he doesn't have a proxy. You know what? I don't know. This honestly to me looks like he's going for like something like a 6-gate push. you know, 8 gate, 6 to 8 gate pressure, which is mildly uncommon, but on this map I feel like it might be more viable, or less viable. It really depends on how heavily your opponent builds lings. I have not built really anything, so yeah, he really could go for a +1 push with a bunch of zealots and stalkers, and really do a lot of damage if I don't have roaches out or something. Either way, spore crawlers coming down. For me, I do this for a multitude of reasons. One, because when I play Protoss, pretty soon I'll have Phoenix coming into the Zerg's base, try and get rid of queens, try and kill off drones, etc., etc. And so I want to make sure I have my spore crawlers down. Also, this is starting to get close to the time DT could possibly appear, so yeah. And it looks like he had to destroy his own pylon to let his units out. Talk about that, but that is a lot of zealots. I'm going to be moving forward. I do scout them coming across the map and begin to produce zerglings, but I don't scout these last two. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that's basically I missed a third of the units. Otherwise, I really should have made a lot more zerglings. You'll notice I'm having trouble spending my money because I'm not zerg and I'm bad with larva injects. Spine crawler coming down right there. I would prefer not to lose this, but I'm getting a feeling that I'm going to. Yep, if I remember correctly, I lose it. Not really a lot I can do versus this amount of zealots, even as I bring all my lings in and realize that there are more zealots than I even realized. Now look, I love his micro here, trying to get them bunched up together. I'm not having anything of it though, knowing full well what he's doing, just basically trying to keep him off the hatchery while most of my lings spawn. Otherwise, actually, I've really never thought about it, and there we go. He actually gets a better surround, even though I prevent him from going into that area. Basically, I sort of messed that one up a bit, and I realize it as I do have to pull back to get those extra lings, and my nexus, my hatchery will fall down. Broodlings helping me to finish off those zealots. That is a sort of a nice push. It would have been a lot more damaging, or well, now here's the thing. It would have been more damaging if I was spending my money correctly. But at the same time, it would have been a lot less damaging because all of a sudden it's just like, well, I've got enough bank. What's it really matter anyways? And the answer is not much. Either way, you really should stop sacrificing these zealots in. But +1 zealots, very, very good. Either way, that third is going to be coming down, and Mutalisks on the field, but at the same time, Stargate, and I feel like there was another Stargate somewhere. No, I am wrong. Just a Stargate with Phoenixes coming out. I feel like you might hear that helicopter. Just bear with it for the moment. Not really all that much that can be done just quite yet. Either way, Phoenix is almost basically prescient of the idea that I am going Mutalisk. Maybe he realized it from what I was doing. Maybe he just wanted to go Phoenix because he's seen me do it, or he got the idea. I don't know. What I do know is he's undersaturated in his main base and just a tad oversaturated on his natural. He really should fix that. And there's the third. Interesting location for it. I don't really like, I don't know if I like that as a third base, just because why not take this one? If you're going to take one of the bases, well, why not take this one? I can see where this would be a fourth base, where you take this one and then this one, but I can't see why you wouldn't take this one first. Either way, not that important. What is important is the pylon coming down there, as I send my Mutalisks out to basically just sort of say hi. Hi, I'm in the neighborhood, and I'm in the neighborhood with Mutalisks. A bunch of zealots moving out over there, going towards my third base. I feel like I might lose that again. SKD just pushing against my basically non-defenses, as almost all my units are over here. I do see those Stargates and decide to leave that area alone, mostly because of the cannon, and I didn't really know what he had over here. I sort of assumed that most of his army would be around as I start to lose all of my drones to those zealots. Very unfortunate. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to... Oh, that's painful. I think he did more damage to me than I did to him with my Mutalisks. But all of a sudden saving that base, much more important to me, as I have scouted though his Stargate, meaning that I am able to get Corruptor Muta up, which is a very strong combination against Protoss Stargate. That you can't go Phoenix Void against Muta Corruptor. Just doesn't work as I cancel my lair. Oh my gosh. And it also looks like I made a mistake with that Overseer, having to bring that across, as all of a sudden I realize there's Void right there. I feel like this one was misrallied or something. I don't know. Going to lose that. Nope, I am not, as all of a sudden that Void Ray dies. SKD playing almost, I would almost want to say like a Zerg, just sort of attacking very, very consistently, and the pressure is, you know, damaging me quite a bit, but I feel like the reason I'm just doing poorly, listen to this, this Selfcast is basically an explanation of why I don't play Zerg, because I'm bad at it. I am so bad. Oh gosh, this is just, this is really sort of painful. Oh. I know I mean, like, this base, for example, totally undefended. I could so easily send a dozen lings and kill it, and I mean, a dozen lings are basically free to me, but nope. Anyways, this force actually looking sort of threatening to the force I have. Since as my mouse freezes, I'll try and keep on this if I can. There we go. As the force that I have mostly consists of Muta Corruptor, not going to be necessarily the best against this. On the other hand, I do maybe have enough forces to make it so it doesn't matter. I forget whether or not I lose this base. I sort of feel like I do. Again, it all depends basically on Micro at this point. He has to know that when he's coming in range of those Mutalisks, he's also coming in range of my Corruptors, who are more than able to counter the Phoenix. Basically, they just slaughter them. As I do manage to save my hatchery, but there is one Zealot over there and my units flying around the map trying to get a hold of those Phoenix. The only question is whether or not, I don't think he could kill it off, not at this point, but yeah. Anyway, carriers coming out for SKD, just bringing the heat basically non-stop. Seems like really the worst time ever to get carriers would be right now, because at any point I could just basically attack and kill him. But I'm very bad at spending my money, so yeah. Oh my gosh, 13 HP on that hatchery. Talk about your lucky save. And once again, I really could counterattack. I should be counterattacking. I should be scouting. Did I zoom out at some point? I did, didn't I? What the? Okay, you know what? We're going to go with this, folks. Or do we? There we go, that's better. I don't know how that happened. I do know that this game is honestly sort of sad. I'm sort of sad about how I played. No creep spread, very late bases, bad saturation, Tempest coming out. Interesting choice. Basically, well, I guess he could tell I was almost certainly going for Broodlords, so the Tempest will be very useful versus that. On the other hand, versus Ling, Corruptor, Muta, Broodlord, there really isn't a whole lot Protoss can do without Void Rays. Sort of the response you would want would be Zealot, Archon, Void Ray would do very well against that. Anything less than that just doesn't, or anything other than that really doesn't have the necessary power to deal with it. Because the thing, well, I suppose you could use carriers instead. Oh, no, I don't know. Well, because here's the thing, Mutalisks do quite well against all Protoss units, except carriers and Archons. Even Phoenix, you can, if you actually let the Mutalisks and Phoenix just duke it out, they stand up pretty well. It's only with Micro that Phoenix actually hold their own. As we noticed with SKD, doing some actually excellent Micro with the Phoenix there. However, carriers do terribly versus Corruptors, which, yeah, sort of becomes a problem. Vipers coming out. Oop. Hold on. I've totally forgot to make myself busy. Oh well, now the Hill has left FDV for Team UR, the winner of the Chobo Team League Seasons 2 and 3, I think? Nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you later, Nelville. Don't you worry about it. I'm not mad. I'm actually happy because FDV is going to be seeing if we can actually enter the Chobo Team League. Just going to be taking a look at the possibilities there. Hopefully we will be able to. I've sent an email off to them. Hopefully get a reply from them today. Maybe not. Who knows? I certainly hope so. Either way, here's the big engagement. I don't know why I do that abduct. Maybe just for fun. I think it was just for fun. And yeah, he could send his zealots into my base at this point as they totally slaughter everything on the ground. Nevertheless, my Mutalisks basically just going in cleanup mode, trying to kill off as many of them as possible. Yeah, this is actually a very scary force to see as Protoss, by the way. This amount of Muta Corruptor, and yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna probably speed it up a little bit here, just because of the wonderful things he does. Basically because I need to talk to Nelville, but I need to finish this, so hey, whatever. If only you were a cheeser. You know, the funny thing is, originally I was going to 10-pool him. Oh, yeah, it even says that. But I was totally originally going to do that, and then I decided not to. Because I forget what it was. Maybe he said something, whatever. Either way, Broodlords coming out for me. That sounds so awkward to say, as this force has just become terrifying, and he's not really doing anything anyways, so hey, whatever. I think he just like went probe sentry at some point here. Yeah, that's what he's doing. It's probe sentry, the composition of the sentry. Oh, terrible joke. There's the force fields. Doesn't really matter because Mutalisks. And of course the Broodlords in the back, wreaking havoc as they do. And yeah, that's pretty much the game. Not really much to say from here on out, except that I suck as Zerg. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna try not to play. I mean, I don't want to play Zerg ever again, basically. Well, that's sort of a lie, because I actually love playing Zerg. I'm just bad at it, if that makes sense. Yeah, you see, what I'm saying there is that it shouldn't have been lucky. Yeah, I should have just basically ruined his day when he sent that attack out. But instead, I was not. Either way, just basically, I think I humped him down in the end. I think he just doesn't do anything except try and rebuild from this Nexus. And I don't even notice it. It's hidden in plain sight. Anyway, there we go. As everything falls down, game over. Anyways, that's been Selfcast number 2. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this series. I think I don't know. Maybe I'll show off some games I lose so it doesn't feel like I'm just ruining people and just being laughing at them. Again, I have no clue. Whatever. Either way, FDV